In Surah Yaseen, Allah Rabbul Izzah says, وَاضْرِبْ لَهُمْ مَثَلًا أَصْحَابَ الْقَرْيَةِ, and present to them the story of the town or the city. Which town is this? The ulama say that it is Antakya, a city in Turkey that was recently affected by the earthquake, where almost the entire city was destroyed and thousands of people lost their lives and thousands of buildings were destroyed. Now this was one of the center headquarters of Christianity in the past. What is the story with regards to this particular town? Allah Rabbul Izzah had sent 3 Anbiya alayhi salatu wasalam to this town. Their names are not mentioned in the Qur'an: Sadiq, Masduq and Shamun. They brought the message of Tawheed to this town. Now when they were entering the town, they passed by one of the far ends of the town, and there was a man who was living on the outskirts of the town. This person had leprosy. Now leprosy is a very critical disease where portions of your body falls off. And they passed by this person and they saw him worshipping idols. And they told him, why don't you worship one Allah and all your needs will be taken care of? So he said, really? All my needs will be taken care of? So they said, yes, you worship Allah and we'll make dua that all your needs be taken care of. So he says, I've been worshipping these idols for 70 years, praying to them that I be cured from leprosy, and nothing has happened. So are you guaranteeing me that I will be cured? They said, you believe in Allah and we will make dua for you. And he took the shahada and they made dua for him and he was cured. And he became a believer. The messengers then went on into the city and they propagated the message of Tawheed. But these lowly people, they attacked the messengers and they started persecuting them and badly injuring them. So this particular person by the name of Habib al-Najjar, he came from the outskirts of the city. وَجَاءَ مِنْ أَقْصَى الْمَدِينَةِ رَجُلٌ يَسْعَى قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ اتَّبِعُوا الْمُرْسَلِينَ. He came from the outskirts of the city, came to the people and said, oh my people, follow the messengers, follow these, they have been sent. اتَّبِعُوا مَنْ لَا يَسْأَلُكُمْ أَجْرًا. They're not asking you for anything and they're the ones doing good. But the people in their rage of that moment, they attacked him. And they beat him up badly. And while they were beating him up, he was making the dua, Allahumma hdi qawmi fa innahum la ya'lamoon. Oh Allah, guide my people, because what they're doing to me, they're doing it to me because they do not know. An excuse on behalf of the people. And this is the very dua that our Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam had made in the midst of the battle of Uhud, when there was a very severe assault on the mu'mineen, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was fired at, and his visor had injured his tooth, and his blood was flowing, the Mubarak blood. And they say that when the Mubarak blood of a Nabi flows, that Allah's anger comes to its highest, and the people can be destroyed. In those moments, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam made the same dua for the kuffar. Allahumma hdihim fa innahum la ya'lamoon. They did this to me because they did not know better. Presenting an excuse on their behalf. So Habib al-Najjar was eventually martyred by the people. And he then, as he's entering into the next realm, he's already being shown his abode in Jannah. And in those moments, he thinks about his people. And he said, when it's said to him, قِيلَ دَخُلِ الْجَنَّةِ, he's seeing this. And as we know, Al-Qabru Rawdatun min Riyad al-Jannah, that the qabr is a garden from the gardens of paradise. It is the first step. If there's hospitality, if there's bliss and gardens of peace and tranquility that you experience when you enter the qabr, then there's only more of that to come as you go on. So at that time, when he's now entering into the Jannah, he thinks of his people and he says, Ya layta qawmi ya'lamoon bima ghafara li rabbi. That if only my people know what is waiting for us on this side, the forgiveness of my Rabb, then they wouldn't have done that and they would have accepted the deen. So this is one of the stories from Surah Yaseen. Surah Yaseen has numerous benefits to it. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Inna likulli shayin qalbun wa qalbul Qur'ani Surah Yaseen." Everything has a heart, and the heart of the Qur'an is Surah Yaseen. Whoever reads it in the evening, all his sins are forgiven. Whoever reads it in the morning, qudiyat hawaijuhu, all his needs for that day is taken care of. Allama ibn Kathir rahimahumullah has mentioned that man qara Yasin in the amrin asirin, if you read it at the time of difficulty, then Allah will open the way for you. And it reminds me of my own personal experience in this regard. In 2014, I was performing Hajj as a leader for a group. And one of the most precarious journeys of Hajj is from Arafat to Muzdalifah. Because you have a limited time of time frame for this. And you have all the Hujjaj moving in one direction at one time, getting to one destination. 3 million Hujjaj at that time. And many times the buses get lost, the buses lose their way. It's just about 7 kilometers, but it's one of the most difficult journeys in terms of your nerves, in terms of getting there. And our bus left Arafat about just around 6 or 7 o'clock. And we drove, and the bus driver took us out somewhere into Mina, and then from there into Azizia and into a roadblock. And after having spent the entire day on Arafat and exerting ourselves in worship, we all fell asleep and was waiting to reach Muzdalifah. We fell asleep, we woke up, we fell asleep, we woke up, we fell asleep. And now it was coming on to 2 o'clock, and we were caught at a roadblock. And people started panicking that if we don't get to Muzdalifah, firstly, we're losing out on one of the manasik of Hajj. And the second thing is that there is a dam. You have to pay a penalty for this. Many were performing their first Hajj, and obviously when you're performing your first Hajj, you want to do it in the best possible manner. And at that time, this particular virtue came to mind. And I then addressed everyone and said, let's read Surah Yaseen collectively. And we all read Surah Yaseen. And subhanAllah, as we just finished off Surah Yaseen, the whole roadblock opened up. And within 15 minutes after that, we were in Muzdalifah. And we managed to spend a full hour in Muzdalifah before the crack of dawn. So this is a personal observation that when you read it at the time of difficulty, Allah makes a way open, provided you read it with the conviction. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, I wish that it be in the heart of every mu'min. So we should endeavor to learn it, to understand it, and to make a daily habit of reading it. May Allah give us the ability. Ameen.